Well, so far this year in the 450 class, the story has been the domination of Eli Tomac, 4-0 in the Motos this year. But he's won titles before, and he knows that just because you start the season strong doesn't mean more wins or a title are a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, the first round at Hangtown was as good as it could have gone, or what you could have kind of dreamed of. Going into the first round, everything's kind of unexpected. You don't want to go in there with a big head thinking you're going to go in there and kind of destroy everyone, because you just don't know where you're at. You don't know where your motorcycle is at. We came in there prepared. We did our homework early on. It's not that other people don't do their homework, but I wasn't expecting a gap like that. But anytime you can do that is huge. I mean, it's huge to do that against your competition, and just to feel good for yourself too.
Despite sweeping the first 4 motos of the season, the points leader knows that he faces a quality field of challengers at the start gate, each and every race.
The competition is huge. I mean, you have Dungey, who's a multi-time champion. You have Roxon, who won the championship last year. And there's a handful of other guys that have won races in championships in the lights class. All those guys have tons of speed, so you got to be on your game at all times. I mean, the ultimate goal is the championship, so I do need to tell myself on maybe the days that aren't going so well that, hey, a third might be all right, or a second, to where it's better than going out of control for the win and maybe getting a 7th or a 10th.
Eli gives credit to his Colorado roots for helping him become a world-class motorcycle racer.
The biggest plus to being in Colorado is just I have my own track and I have my own space to ride. I mean, it's huge. I'm very fortunate to have it, but anytime you can ride out of your own garage and not have to pack up your gear and load it in the truck is huge. So I was definitely lucky to grow up on a 100-acre alfalfa farm.
Yeah, a lot of the riders have their own training facilities out the backyard now, but he had it his entire life. And these are the races that he's going to try to hold off the rest of the field and win this championship. We'll show you the Lucas Oil upcoming schedule. 2 down and 10 to go. Racing today in Colorado, that's the Tomac's home race. Then we're going to Muddy Creek in Tennessee, an East Coast swing through Pennsylvania, Maryland, then back into Michigan and Millville, Minnesota. Then Washougal, Washington. Unadilla is upstate New York, and Utah and Indiana will round it out. A lot of racing and not a lot of time, so the key is to be consistent. Don't get hurt. Not a lot of time to recover. See if Tomac can keep the streak alive after this. We're back here at Lakewood, Colorado. Big shakeup in the 250 class in our first moto. Marvin Musquin with a huge crash. Let's send it back to Georgia with an update on him.
So I just came down here. I spoke to his mechanic, Frankie Latham. You can see them right there putting the bike back together. They had to tear the entire thing down. At the time, he wasn't sure what he was going to have to fix, but they've patched up the bits that were bent and broken. Rebuilding the bike now. It should be ready for that second moto. Marvin Musquin is doing okay. He had a stinger on his wrist. It's kind of a bit sore. He's icing it right now, but he said he'll be out there for that second moto no matter what.
All right, good thing to hear there that he at least will be back. We'll just show you what happened. We saw him in a heat down on the side of the track, and it was not a quick re-entry.
No, he definitely looked like he rang his bell. You see him shaking his head. A lot of times that's just to get your focus back after seeing double, but took him a while to get up. You can tell they're changing a lot of parts. Fortunately, KTM have all the crew on it, 3 mechanics working.
Yeah, we'll show you, by the way, the racetrack here with our GoPro track preview. We switch back to our 450 classes. Ken Roxon on board from earlier today.
Yeah, he just went over the finish line jump behind the start gate, but right by the pit area, sorry. Grab a handful up the start straight, rejoining the track. This would be the first turn of the race. They smooth it out. That's where you hope to drop off and get that motorsport.com hole shot. But you can see the track from earlier. You can see it's a little wet, just the rut's developing, but the track is going to get rougher and rougher as this day goes on. You heard riders speaking about it earlier. This track is very tough, and I think because underneath it's a little soft and it's starting to dry out on top, so it's giving that doughy feel. But here's our Kawasaki track map. This taking us to the back part of the track, the second half up there, the big triple step up, sweep around this long left hand in front of thousands of fans. Then little change up this year, make it right here. Go to the same part of the track we've used before, but it's really changed the actual layout. A lot of the track is the same, but a couple turns difference really change it around. A lot of nice little step-ups and jumps, and especially with the 250 guys using all the horsepower they have to get over some of these jumps. Make the sharp right, get your weight back really through the rollers. take a little glance to your left at the Fran Mechanics area, get your pit board, hang a right over the Lucas Oil finish line jump. Then if you win, you'll go and throw a nice whip like that. Back around the backside of the start gate. Hammer it up the hill up the start.
That's a lap here at Lakewood, but we're going to have real racing laps as soon as we come back here on Mavs TV. The 450 class ready to go. In a 2016 Kawasaki. Good luck to everyone. Hey, here's Kyle Cunningham, privateer on the AG Motorsports Grenade Suzuki. And how about this? He wins the FMF Privateer Power Award, handing out some money and some recognition to a privateer every week. Good job, Kyle. Let's send it to Georgia now with the GoPro starting gate.
Now, last weekend, we know it was an unfortunate weekend for Ryan Dungey in that first moto. Unfortunately, he stalled the bike twice, ended up sixth in that moto, which is losing points for the championship, which is critical when you're second place in the championship. They tore the bike down, realized it was the sensor pressure mapping device, which regulates the amount of fuel that's going in and out of the engine. In the second half of that moto, he said he could feel that it kept kind of cutting out, and he was so unsure. But in Ryan Dungey fashion, he carried on the race. He just kept it calm, collected, and he managed to finish the moto and get those points. The team were actually very happy with him after that.
And you can see there they swapped an entire engine between motos last week, and that's hard to do because there's only an hour between motos. It's KTM Keys to the moto. We're here in Colorado. What's it going to take to win here today, Grant?
Well, we're at altitude, and we got changing track conditions as well. We've had a lot of rain all week. It stopped raining. Beautiful weather today, but the track is changing. We heard the 250 riders saying it's very unpredictable underneath. And like I said, racing at altitude does change the way these bikes perform. And can anyone beat Eli Tomac?
Dungey leads him into the first turn of that orange number 5 and out. Motorsport.com whole shot for him. He's got Anderson on the white Husqvarna and Ken Roxon on the outside, number 1, trying to challenge him.
Well, I don't know if you noticed there, our 3 big hitters were lined up side by side by side. The 1, the 5, and the 3. And look at this. They're first, second, and fourth. Throw in El Hombre, Jason Anderson in there on the Husqvarna, and this is a battle, and Roxon now takes the lead.
Not messing around. Roxon tried to get Dungey in turn 2, couldn't pull it off there. Turn 4, takes over the number 1 spot. Now it's outside versus inside. Roxon makes the outside work for how long?
Wow. Showing the difference of lines here. You see this. Now Dungey on the outside. Roxon takes that line away. They square over those bumps. And guess who just got in the third? The man they didn't want to see right behind them. The number 3 of Eli Tomac. This has got all the ingredients for a great race right now.
Well, you know the determination of Roxon and Dungey, who have both won this title before. They are not going to make life easy on Tomac, who's going to have to pass them both if he wants to keep the win streak alive. And nice job by Anderson back there in 4th. This is set up perfectly, and the fans have come to life here in Colorado because their native son is 3rd and is trying to get Dungey for 2nd. He might already have him.
Yeah, just a long way around. Stays out of those deep ruts. Ryan Dungey taking the protective line that did not work. Eli Tomac talking about his momentum. He just carries momentum everywhere he goes. But you got the front 3. They're the favorites to win. But Ken Roxon, he won here last year, Jason. He's not been 100%. A good start like this. Dungey off the track.
Oh, a terrible spot to go off. He's going to lose a ton of ground. At least going to get passed by Anderson. Oh, he can't find an opening.
There it is. Right by the
Phil Nicoletti goes by him as well. Yeah.
Gets past the Utah Sports Commission banner there. But that hurt him because Dungey lost valuable ground. A big mistake on the opening lap for Ryan Dungey's got to be just gutted with himself. Going, come on, man, are you serious? But we heard it from the 250 riders. I think what's happening, if I can try and explain it to the fans home, the moisture from all the rain we've had for weeks and weeks, the ground is doughy underneath, but on top it's starting to dry out. Look at this. And you see these bikes just dancing everywhere. Watch Dungey. Tries to change direction, lands here, and then all of a sudden you see the bike just gets a little off-center and then a little cross-rided. Didn't have the bike leant over enough. Gets out of it pretty good, but you can tell once you go off the track there, it's a bit of a mission getting back on. So Dungey now going to have to go back to work. See him behind the 46 of Nicoletti.
Uncharacteristic type of mistakes from Dungey. Had the off-track excursion, but he was sideways 2 or 3 times beyond that. Now trying to make ground back up. Nicoletti is 4th. Dungey is 5th. That's Weston Pike way back there. I think we just saw the split screen. Dungey makes a pass on Nicoletti. Nicoletti trying to come back uphill.
Well, that will now give Dungey back into 4th place, but now he's got to get around. Jason Anderson has shown some great speed, but it's not just that. Look at the ground Dungey has lost. He is really going to have to show us his raw speed. Nicoletti doesn't want to give up. Don't blame him. Go for it. See, this track really provides multiple lines. You can tell it's also a very technical track, very deceiving. May look nice and solid on top, but we've seen a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes from all the top riders.
Yeah, even our 250 first moto winner, Jeremy Martin, you heard him say he had some close calls. So you have Dungey, Nicoletti, and Baggett's behind them. He's 6th. Brayton 7th. Chisholm, Barsha, Will Hahn. Right at the top 10, you saw the off-track excursion for Pike. He is 36th right now. And Roxon continues to lead Tomac and Anderson up front. But Dungey, not what he wanted. Got that hole shot, gave himself an opportunity, and threw it away with some mistakes here on the first lap. See if he can settle down here on lap 2.
Well, now that they're going to be crossing the finish line at the end of lap 2, we'll start seeing some lap times.
So Tomac all over Roxon.
Yeah. Yep. Tomac putting the heat on. So they come across Roxon 2:11.6, Tomac 2:11 flat. So Tomac,
here we go.
Is on the gas. He is putting the heat on just like he's done the first 4 motos, just showing that raw speed that he has.
Had that rear wheel somehow on the ground all the way over that jump. Leading down up the start straight, now down the hill. Roxon is going to deal with all the pressure he can handle right now. Give the champ credit, coming back from a back injury, not afraid to get out front early and try to hold these guys off. He's not hiding back there, but it is going to be awfully tough to hold off Tomac at his home track.
Yeah, Roxon's got to be going, man, what do I have to do? I'm giving everything I've got, and I just hear this guy all over me, inside, outside. Tomac 1, not afraid to venture to the edges of the track, whether it's the inside, the outside. He'll go wherever he can between those yellow stakes that mark the edge of the track, but he will use the whole thing, and he'll cut across and have some creative lines too. But basically, if you're Roxon, you know the pressure's on. He knows that it's Eli Tomac, guaranteed. His pit board's either told him, or he's seen it out of the corner of his eye. And at this point, Roxon's got to be going, hey man, I'm the defending champion. I'm 49 points back of this guy. I cannot let it be in the 50s. I've got to start shrinking that gap. And the best time to start, as I always say, is right now. It should have been yesterday or last week, but it starts right now.
Roxon had an ankle injury in Supercross, lost some training and testing time due to that, then hurt his back about a week before our opener, and had a terrible first round at Hangtown. I talked to him earlier today. He said he thinks it's really going to be the week break we get after round 5, where he'll really have an opportunity to get back to 100% and be where he wants to be. So right now he's just trying to do the best he can in the physical condition that he is in, and it's pretty darn good because he's leading, but oh, Tomac is so close right now and trying to find some real estate to make a pass.
Tomac's just getting in and out of those deep, tough, rutted sections better than anyone. Sometimes it's line selection, other times he gets that leg up, has great technique, really just carrying a little bit more momentum everywhere. But Roxon putting up a good fight. He's giving it everything he's got. Tomac does appear to have a little more speed, but he's not able to get it done right now.
Let's send it down to Georgia more on Tomac.
Yeah, I was speaking to his mechanic, Brian Kranz, earlier today, and I asked him if they'd made any setups, because most bikes change the gearing and the mapping for the bike, and they said, you know what, he's so happy with his bike, no changes were made. However, his practice bike, that is the same as this bike he is riding right now, that he uses at home, has exactly the same settings, and where he lives, near Durango in Colorado, is at altitude. So it's almost like this is normal for him, and yet he almost rides an altitude bike at normal tracks. So no changes were made to him, and obviously last week we spoke about that comfortability, and he is.
Well, the change he's trying to make now is a change for the lead. He's got the inside on Roxon. He worked him all the way around that left-hander at the top of the facility. He's taken the lead, and again the fans come to life here. Eli Tomac's got the #1 spot, but look at Roxon coming right back at him.
Roxon won't give up. You can tell he's got some fight in him. He wants us. Their speed is very, very similar, but you see that, Jason, you don't have to make the pass. He just got his bike on the inside. That's the 3 of Tomac. Got the bike up the inside of Roxon down that hill. Roxon had to be forced to the outside. Gave Tomac the inside, able to get the pass done. Now he's in the lead.
You saw the graphic pop up on the screen there. Tomac was the Bud Light fast qualifier. He was the fastest in both practice sessions earlier today. Roxon behind him. Just really a tall order to stop Tomac right now, who just has everything going his way. Oh, it's funny. It is the home track state-wise. He did drive here, he told me this week, Tomac, but it's a 7-hour drive from Cortez, Colorado, right outside of Durango where he lives. And he said the soil here, totally different. He has sandy soil back at his place, but you can't deny that extra push of all the home state fans, and that is certainly helping him today. Here is, again, the pass for the lead. Just persistent. Work the inside, work the inside, work the inside, and eventually he had the bike in front of Ken Roczen and took over the lead. Taking on the toughest projects with cutting-edge technology, that's Titan. And his team are fighting for America. They show the world what it takes to be American-built. Sunday at 10 Eastern and Pacific on MAV TV. A lot of fans line up here. Yeah, some of them are pumped up.
For Freddie Noren.
Freddie Noren, the Swedish rider out here in the 450 class, who's riding the factory Honda. But Noren actually, I believe, icing a knee injury. 18th right now. But the majority of the fans here are cheering for this guy, Eli Tomac, the Colorado native, leading here in Colorado, looking for his 5th straight moto victory to start this season. He got around Ken Roczen just before he went to break, and he's already opened it up by about 3 seconds over the number 1. I can't say enough, though, about the bounce back for Roczen. First moto of the year, finished 19th. I thought he was done. I was practically waiting for the email of Roczen out for the season with a back injury press release. But it didn't come. Instead, he recovered. He did a lot better in the second moto there. A lot better again next week at Glen Helen. And here, yet another improvement. Looking for second in the moto. That would be his season's best. If he can hang in there, let's give you the motosport.com whole shot replay. Roczen had a good start, but the best one went to Ryan Dungey, who is currently in 3rd.
You see them coming up the first turn here. All the top guys were right next to each other in the background. And see guys flipping. Few riders going down, but when they crossed that motorsport.com white line for the whole shot, it was that number 5 of Ryan Dungey with a tight, extremely talented group of riders right behind him. All the heavy hitters. You see the 5, the 21, the 1, the 3. The list goes on. But Dungey did make that big mistake on that opening lap, and that's hurt him. And his speed has not been able to quite get him back into the mix with the front.
It's another little mistake there. He had to double clutch it coming out of that corner. Just uncharacteristic. Is it bike? Is it him? Is it the track being, as we've been describing it, as confusing? It's soft in spots. It's hard in others. It's not like it normally is here. What do you think the factor is for Dungey?
You know, let's be honest.
We're guessing, for sure.
He's not really losing much time, because if you look at the times there, he actually gained almost a second on Roczen on that last lap. But it's just Tomac. It's just got the outright raw speed. So we keep questioning what's happening with everyone else. I just think it's what happened to Tomac. Where did he find the speed? And we've seen him on his day, but now it just seems like it's automatic for him. Like his pace is just at another level. Great ride for Jason Anderson, rookie in the 450 class. Great ride for the Rockstar Husqvarna rider. His nickname, El Hombre. It's got that little cookie duster that I call of a mustache.
Baggett, that's Anderson's buddy back here in 5th. They have a budding rivalry, or maybe not budding, it's just a rivalry at this point, and they might hook it up. They seem to find each other in most of the motos. Right now they're 4th and 5th. Here comes Barshow, started about 10th. He's up to 6th. He's gone around his teammate Nicoletti, who is 7th, and Nicoletti going to feel the heat for the 14. Honda rider. That's Cole Seeley. This is for 7th. Seeley, can he seal him off on the outside? Yes, he does.
Does it the hard way, up the inside, side by side, and then just carries it around there. Oh, a little bobble. But the 450, enough grunt to still get over that jump. On a 250, he would have battled to get to the, to the top of that crest. But great ride. Cole Seeley had some success in Supercross, and I think for him this has been a pretty solid outdoor season so far. I'm sure he would expect more, but we see Brayton coming through there on the BTO Sport KTM, and Brock Tickle, the teammate to the number 1 of Ken Roczen, sitting there in 10th place, a solid top 10. But Brock Tickle is hoping for more, as a lot of these guys are. And then right outside the top 10, we see a lot of talent. Will Hahn, Christoph Porcel, Kyle Chisholm, all knocking on the door.
It's crazy early in the season when everybody's healthy and ready, how deep the field goes. Well outside the top 10, you have factory riders like Hahn here in the green 48, Monster Energy Kawasaki. He is 11th. Porcel, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, right behind him in 12th. And Chisholm is behind him. That's your first privateer rider. That's 13th place. So 12 very well supported riders. right in front of these guys. You mentioned Tickle in 10th, and they're all close. Tickle, Brayton, Nicoletti, Seeley. You can see them up ahead. Inside line for Porcel, the Frenchman. Cannot make it happen.
Yeah, he's trying to get around Will Hahn at this point. Porcel also got one of those very fluid, looks very calm, collected, and relaxed on that bike. Trying different lines, staying out of the deep stuff. And that's also smart, you know, it gives you a chance to not overwork yourself as a rider by just taking the longer way, but you're using a smoother line. And you basically are hoping that even though someone like Will Hahn's probably taking the premier line or the fastest line, if he makes one little bobble and you're going the long way around for a smoother line, gives you the drive up the next straightaway or the next hill.
Well, we call Porcel the crafty Frenchman for a reason. He always found the unorthodox line. Last week, Blake Baggett told me he was trying some lines at Glen Helen. He knew that there was no chance anyone else was taking, and then he comes up on Porcel, and sure enough, Porcel was using the same lines he was. Very unorthodox the way he approaches the racetrack. He's trying to use that to get around Hahn here and get into the top 10. We're halfway through this moto, and he just made that pass. So now 11th is Porcel's. It's actually Tickle up ahead of him 10th. 11th is Porcel's. That'll push Hahn back to 12th. And by the way, in 15 minutes, this moto will either end or you can call Geico and save 15% on your car or motorcycle insurance. Hahn trying to fight his way back into shape. A very unfortunate crash at the beginning of Monster Energy Supercross broke his upper arm, his humerus. That is not an easy thing to recover from, and that was the second time in a year he had broken that. Actually, since the arm feels better after the second surgery, they were to clean up some of the complications from before, but fitness and strength-wise, he still has some work to do. Here is Kyle Chisholm. Team Chiz, he's a privateer, but a shout-out to the folks at Kawasaki who have floated a lot of parts his way to help him defray the cost of being a privateer out here and essentially paying his own way to the races. He is in 13th. Chiz hasn't raced our full U.S. Outdoor Series in a couple of years. Spent the last few summers racing in Canada. Good to see him back out here. Jesse Wentland is 14th. Josh Grant, 15th. Chad Reed, we mentioned, went down in the first turn. He is 26th. And we know that Weston Pike had problems on the first lap. He is 23rd. So a couple of the favorites here are way back. There's Wentland here in the 84. You have an update on him, Georgia.
Yeah, this guy is impressing me so much in 14th place. He's a Minnesota guy riding for RSR Star Cycle Honda. However, he has never been on any form of a big team whatsoever. Always been a privateer guy. You see him in this top 20 and it's unbelievable. Well, actually, he's just been passed by Grant, so he's in 15th right now. However, that's still an awesome ride for him considering people in the top 20.
And yeah, absolutely. A little renaissance time for Minnesota. You have the Martin brothers and Dungey, of course, up front, but Wentland and a couple other strong privateers. There's a lot of top pros coming out of Minnesota these days. Freddie Noren, who we mentioned before, the Swedish rider, he has gotten the bump up to the factory Honda team. Right now, Trey Kennard is injured, so they have given Noren this bike. He normally rides for the Motorsport GPI Honda team and gets a little factory help, but now he's on the full unit. Here he is trying to make the move on Wentland. We had a chance to talk to Freddie earlier about what it's like to rejoin the factory Honda team.
I'm super excited. I mean, I love the bike and the people around here. The Honda team is awesome, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to have a good day and just have fun.
Now that's the good news, that Noren has the good factory bike now and that he's made the pass on Wentland. That will put him into 15th. The bad news is he had a torn meniscus, I think back at the end of March or the beginning of April, trying to recover from that, and then he twisted that knee in practice today, so he's toughing it out. Let's show you this move again he made on Wentland, Grant.
Well, this is a section of the track I was talking about. You come down this hill and pretty much you got to dig deep and just charge its braking bumps. Look at the commitment there right around the outside. Tries to stay out of those ruts, keep the bike settled, get in there, get the power on. That looks easy, but it's a lot tougher than it seems. And that's just commitment and confidence in the bike and yourself to charge down that hill and basically release the brakes during the braking bumps.
Yeah, going into a turn downhill, release the brakes. Easier said than done. This guy is doing it better than anyone. Eli Tomac, no difference whether in Northern California, Southern California, or here, he's on fire. Eli Tomac continues to roll here. He has set such a high standard this season, winning most of the motos by about 30 seconds, and one of them by 1 minute and 30 seconds. Right now he's up by 12.5 here at Colorado. And a reminder to go to ProMotocross.com. You can watch all the first motos live on that website or right here on MAV TV. And there's tons of other video content all week long. Everything you need to know about Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, you'll find it on ProMotocross.com. Also, the NBC Sports Live Extra app. Download it onto your phone or tablet. You can watch our motos every week online as well. Tommy Hahn is in the pits. Tough break for him. Georgia, what do you have?
Yeah, he just pulled into the pits, the motorsport.com GPI rider of Tommy Hahn. Tommy, what's happened? Is it a bike issue or did you have a fallout there?
I just had an issue in practice this morning. I got a little out of shape. There was a track worker's mule sitting on the side of the track, and I center punched that thing, and I hit my head a little bit. Whole left side of my body hurts. And I got a little dizzy out there, and now that I'm older, I don't really think I should be riding today, so it sucks. It's very unfortunate. I had a good start to this season, and I've been working hard, and we've had a solid year so far, but just a little mishap, and I'll be back stronger, so.
Better safe than sorry.
All right, that is Hahn. He was 15th in points coming into this one in a comeback season. First full year as a racer in about 3 seasons. He had retired. This is a comeback. Tough break for him. No such trouble, again, for now, for Eli Tomac. Now, he has the Colorado roots. His dad, John Tomac, one of the greatest bicycle racers ever out of the United States. Now, his dad is actually originally from Michigan, moved to Southern California for a while, and then came here to Colorado kind of during that the rise of mountain biking in the U.S. back in the 80s. So that's why the Tomac family has roots here in Colorado. It's not a coincidence that he lives at such a great area to train. His dad, John, moved here on purpose. That's when he met Kathy Tomac. That's Eli's mom. And you can see how their son has performed here as a motocross rider. It's impressive. I mean, he is taking the best riders in the world. He had Dungey and Roczen right in front of him, and it only took a few laps for him to overhaul them. And he's 13.8 seconds up on Roczen right now. He just lapped Pike, who had his trouble on the first lap. Just amazing.
And you know what's really cool, I think, is Eli Tomac, how involved his family is in his racing.
Yeah. We're going to go and show you Pike here. First lap, he had an issue. We saw him coming across the finish line when everyone else was way, way ahead. Let's see what, Endo.
That's that downhill we were talking about. It's tricky. You got to commit down there, but that's what can happen. You don't get the bike settled net over. Look,
other riders down. He got stuck again.
Yeah, that's the other downhill. The one right before it in the background is where he crashed. So those downhills, not Pike's favorite spot, but if I'm watching him down these hills, he doesn't look quite that comfortable. I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe the suspension settings they went with weren't as predicted, and he just doesn't look that comfortable. We see in Weston, he was attacking at Glen Helen. Right now, he looks like he's just trying to be safe and cautious. See that bike just dancing around a little too much.
Look who's ahead of him. It's Chad Reed. Reed was down in the first turn. We saw 2 incidents in the first lap for Pike, and both of them are in a desperate position because Reed's 21st.
Right out the points,
yeah, Pike is 22nd. You score 0 points if you don't make the top 20. So the last thing you want to do is tire yourself out for 35 minutes and score 0 points.
21st place sucks. Trust me.
It's the
worst. I've been there once or twice. Okay. It's the worst position in the world because it drives you nuts. It's almost like finishing 4th overall. You just missed out on the podium.
That's right. So they don't want to make this all for naught. We go back to Roczen here, who's in second. Dungey continues to close in. Gap is 3 seconds.
Yeah, it was about 8 early, and we kept saying, Dungey, you said it. Dungey was lapping quicker. He's closing. 6 minutes to go, plus 2 more laps. So that'll give these guys about 5 more laps from the time they cross the finish line, roughly. But look at that. There's Dungey. You saw that number 5 in the orange KTM sneaking around there in the background. Now he can see Roczen, and that just gives you a whole, it's almost like a second win, a boost of energy. It gives you something to latch onto. I got a feeling it's only going to be a matter of time before Dungey is right up behind that number 1.
Well, this is where Dungey always excels. They call him the Diesel. Once he gets rolling, awfully hard to stop him. We might have a battle on our hands for second before this one is over. And before it's over, let's check in with this guy, Colorado's own Andrew Short. Hurt, but coming out to watch the races. We'll talk to him next. Battle is on between two of the stars of the sport. Ken Roczen here in second place, the yellow number 1. Soaring Eagle Jimmy John Suzuki, and the Red Bull KTM of Ryan Dungey is third, trying to track him down. And the longer shots, you'll see Dungey back there putting some heat on Roczen. Your leader, Eli Tomac, has gotten away. So the big battle is here for second and valuable championship points.
You can tell Dungey is charging. He looks like he's giving it everything he's got right now. He wants that second place.
And Georgia Lindsay has caught up to the Colorado native. Andrew Short back at the races, unfortunately, though, not racing. Georgia?
Yes, it's a face that definitely we have missed. The BTO Sports KTM of Andrew Short. Andrew, you did recently have surgery on the knee, but the main thing everybody wants to know is, when are we going to see you back?
I'm hoping to rejoin the series around the halfway mark and get out there and mix it up with the boys. But until then, I'm just happy to be out here cheering on my teammate, Justin Brayton, and the rest of the KTM guys. It's good to get off the couch and see what these guys are all about.
Well, it's been off the couch. However, you've had some serious flooding back home in Texas. We've all heard about it on the news. Your tracks are kind of underwater, but how's everything else?
It's perfect timing. You know, the weather's been brutal around our area in Texas. But for me, this feels like home in Colorado. I grew up racing up and down the Front Range, and I've never seen this track as well as it is today. It's really rough, brutal, and a great crowd and great weather. Obviously, it's altitude out here. The track is rough. But on your body, what's the main thing as a rider that you do to heal yourself between the motos? It's hard. These guys, they're on the limit, and to keep that focus and not crash with all these ruts and bumps is really critical. So recovery is going to be key in between the motos. You know, get rehydrated, get some food in you, and also reset, flip the cards over and reset your mind, and come out swinging for that second moto. Well, it's great to catch up. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you out here.
It's a broken kneecap for Shorty in Supercross, a bizarre incident. He was battling with Brock Tickle at the New Jersey race in Supercross, and he thinks he stuck his leg out, and that actually broke the kneecap. Didn't get hit by anything, really strange. Finished the race even. Jeez. But had to get surgery to put that together. You don't want to rush that. Ask Michael Leslie about that one. At this track, he tried to come back too early from the broken kneecap.
What's this guy doing? Get out of the way, man. Jeez. Who's 166? Dungey lost a ton of time there. You got the blue flags. It's like, sorry, I'm just, as the next race, I get frustrated and stuff like that.
I know.
And Dungey makes another mistake. You can tell he's frustrated. He pulls a tear off.
That was Derek Anderson, who's back out of retirement of his own, a Colorado native. Probably a little tired here late in this race. That cost Dungey dearly.
Yeah, not thinking either.
You're allowed to say
Lack
that.
of oxygen
to
the brain.
It's an excuse when you're out here at the altitude. Okay, so now Dungey has to go back to work. He's 5 seconds behind Roczen. He had worked so hard to cut it down from 8 seconds to about 2. And now he has to do it again, and they're in lap traffic. So now he has to hope that the rest of these lappers maybe hold Kenny up, and he gets a chance to get back in it.
See how like Reed gets out of the way. All these guys that respect what it's like being a leader and trying to get through. You don't want to see
here.
You don't want to see lappers ruining the race. It's not their job to pull off and get out of the way. But when you see the blue flags waving here, someone just take a look over. You know, this is a great battle going on. But unfortunately, Dungey lost so much time that I think Roczen is sitting pretty safe. But can the Dunge put on a charge? You've got to remember, Roczen is not at 100%. So he might get a little tired. They're still, when they come round, they'll get the 2-lap card. So they still got, see those ruts, you know, we talked about it. This track, even Andrew Short alluded to it. He said it's a great racetrack. It's tough out there when you're pushing it, dealing with these ruts and bumps, trying to not make mistakes. A lot of it comes down to who makes the fewest mistakes. You see, Dungey doesn't quite look 100% comfortable, but at the same time, he is pushing. He can see Roczen, and you know he's a little flustered.
He's got to cut back down to about 3 seconds, so they have that 1 lap alone. We saw 2 seconds change in each direction, so a total of 4 seconds of change. How about the yellow number 20 right here? That's another Soaring Eagle, Jimmy John Suzuki of Brock Tickle. He has worked his way forward. We had him in 10th early. He's now in 6th.
Brock Tickle, a workhorse, someone you would love to have on your team. Great guy, get along very well with any team he goes to. Easy personality, but
Justin Barcia, that's who he got around. Barcia had a bad lap the last time around. I would assume he had
saw those times.
Yeah, crash or got tangled up with one of those lap riders. So Barcia goes from 6th to 7th. He's trying to build on a podium finish last race at Glen Helen. He told me it did help him mentally. He felt a little more of that pep in the step, as they say, coming into this race, but not following it up the way he wants. 7th right now. Sealy 8th, Nicoletti 9th, Brayton 10th. Baggett, by the way, is past Anderson for 4th. So the Yoshimura Suzuki now ahead of the Rockstar Husky. Wow, big launch for Barsha downhill.
Yeah, Barsha always attacks, no matter what position he's in, how he's feeling. He's got that Yamaha on the rev limiter, rides with everything he's got. Gotta love his approach, bam bam style, attack, 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 never give up. But Brock Tickle, I think his results haven't quite shown his potential. He's a very solid rider, but he's not quite had the starts in the first 5 motos this year, but seems to sneak through. Like I said, a workhorse. Obviously the guys at RCH love him. He's up for testing, doing whatever. So great comeback from Brock Tickle, just outside of the top 5 in that 6th position, but still one of his better performances this year.
Yeah, it'll tie his best. He had a 6th at Hangtown. He's looking to do that again here. Not going to have time to catch Anderson, who is 5th, or Baggett, who is 4th. There's Barsha, pushed back to 7th. Got a lot of help lately from Yamaha, helping him with some engine settings. It's kind of a dual effort here. You have the factory Yamaha technicians and, of course, the Auto Trader Toyota Joe Gibbs Racing technicians. So they kind of have a variety of parts they can pick from. So he's using some of the Yamaha settings on the motor right now. Obviously worked well last weekend, maybe not where he wants it to be this time. We'll see what they can do the next time or the next moto. Maybe, honestly, everybody probably in this moto is going to hope for changes. This track has been brutal. I don't know if you can make a bike work perfectly.
Well, have a look at this. Matt Lemoyne maybe not that happy with Archer there. Just says, hey, hello, move, man. And that's what happens when these guys have their adrenaline going and someone stuffs someone. I'll be honest, that was pretty blatant. And the Dunge is back.
Yeah, I was going to say that knocks Archer was in the points. He was 18. That knocks him out of the points paying position as we go to this battle. Yeah, 2 laps to go. Dungey wants a piece of Roxon.
Yeah, time's running out. They are less than a lap and a half to go. So Dungey now got to stay close and hope to make a pass happen on the last lap. Look at this. He's right there. Hopefully he can get around. Oh, there's one of another local, Trevor Whitmarsh, young Colorado native.
Fans have picked up. Sorry about that. Fans have picked up on this battle. I don't know.
Oh, they see it.
They could be either cheering for Whitmarsh, he's a local guy, but I bet you it's this.
Yeah, they see a battle brewing. They see a last lap battle. Can Dungey make this happen? These guys used to be team. Oh! Roxon, that's exactly almost what happened in Supercross when he injured his ankle. He got that kick, and that spooked him. And Dungey round the outside. But Kenny Roxon there, that was almost one of those moments how he injured his ankle originally. He got kicked in a rhythm, went off the track, hit the side of the stadium. Violent crash as the white flag comes out. Tomac, he's got this race under control, barring a mechanical. He's got a 20-second lead. But Dungey able to catch up after being held up in the lap traffic, gets around Roxon, but still, Jason, what a gritty performance by the number 1, Ken Roxon. We saw him in the first race. He just keeps making strides. He's on the podium, so you got to imagine he's going to keep chipping away as the season goes on.
You could definitely see, though, after that near miss, he just lost some steam, and Dungey was able to get by. Tomac has avoided that situation. Haven't even seen many close calls from him. It's the same situation here. Hopping over the big bumps, all the sections that are giving other riders fits. It almost looks like he's enjoying how he bounces through them. Kicking the bike out a little sideways there downhill.
That's why I said Eli's just, man, even when he's not really pushing, he just looks like he'll put that Honda wherever he needs it to be. Very strong and powerful rider, Eli. You've got to be in great shape. So this kid must train his tail off because he rides with so much energy that he probably has to be 20% fitter when he lines up than Ken Roxon to hope to be the same physical condition at the end of a race.
Well, we talk about how much you see him standing up, coming in and out of those corners. I would imagine that takes more effort for your legs.
Also technique.
You're never sitting down.
You know, we've seen in the past, we saw Ricky Carmichael hanging, his elbows weren't that high up, but he hung the throttle out, sitting down, bouncing through ruts, and you'd see Kevin Windham standing up in cruise control around the outside. So, different techniques. Same outcome sometimes.
Or even better outcome. Right now, the standing up is working for Tomac. He has stood tall amongst this 450 field.
Is this the closest race this year? At
nearly
18
18 seconds. They're getting closer.
Hey.
Take what you can get. Look at wheeling while standing up in the ruts down that straightaway. Are you kidding me? Checkered flag coming out. Fans are pumped. Eli Tomac wins here in Colorado.
Little casual fist pump. That was basically saying business as usual. He's like, yep, got her done. And the Dunge, nice little comeback at the end there. Gets the most amount of points I think he possibly could have. He takes second. He's probably not that happy, but look at the gap. A little bit closer than he's been. Keep chipping away.
Well, yeah, because he charged on that last lap. He actually closed in quite a bit, 14 seconds. That's significantly closer than any race this year. Got to take confidence any way you can. Let's talk to these guys. We're back. Back here at Lakewood, Colorado, they call it Thunder Valley, and we've completed our first 450 moto of the day, and we'll give you the Lucas Oil race recap, show you how it looked. Well, all the fans wanted to see Eli Tomac win this one, but up front early was Ken Roczen. Wrestled the lead away from Ryan Dungey, but while those two battled, you had Tomac lurking back there in third. Good race for the #1 spot. Roczen just able to seal off Dungey, but then Tomac gets Dungey, and then it goes from bad to worse for the 5.
Yeah, Dungey just gets a little cross-rided there off the track, just trying to get it back under control. Find the nearest opening, sneaks through the banners there, but loses a couple positions, and more importantly, valuable time. So he's got his work cut out. But here, the lead. Tomac gets to the inside. Roczen unable to get the inside line. Tomac seals the deal right there. And the rest was history. Eli Tomac just ran away with this one once again.
Yeah, absolutely. No challengers for him down the stretch. He wins by 14 seconds, which is big, but less big than the previous 4 motos this year, if that means anything. And he takes the moto win. We'll send it to Georgia Lindsay.
Eli Tomac did it again in front of his Colorado fans. Okay, so we're 5 out of 5 in race wins here. What is it that during the week you work on? Because obviously speed isn't an issue, but as a rider, I know you keep working on things. What specifically to you do you work on during the week?
For me, at this point in the season, it's just routine. So just riding on the motorcycle, obviously a couple days a week, and whatever cross training you're doing or what I'm doing. So, man, once again, was out pretty close to the front early on, which helped me get to the lead there, and had a good little battle with Ken there. Snuck around him, and then at that point just kind of tried to stay on 2 wheels because this track is really, really rutted today, so it can come up and bite you. So got to stay focused for the second moto, and thanks to Geico Honda and everyone in the crew, so I'll come out swinging for the second one.
Well done, congratulations, Eli.
Here are your results. Dungey outdueling Roczen down the stretch to take second. Baggett gets to 4th, and Tickle passes Anderson late. He was 6th, ends up 5th. Good job by him. Barcia 7th, Seeley, Brayton, and Nicoletti round out the top 10. We'll send it back to Georgia.
Yes, Ryan Dungey with that 2nd place. Now that gap is closing, so that's a good thing. However, you had to deal with lappers out there. As a racer, I know you got stuck behind lappers despite blue flags. How do you deal with that situation?
We all got to deal with it, but unfortunately sometimes they get in the way and they don't really know where the guy's behind them, but no excuses. You know, I made a few mistakes at the beginning of the moto, which they got away from me a little bit too much, and but set my sights on Ken trying to get in the second. We were able to do that, and from there. But this next one, I'm going to get a good start and be right there challenging for a win, and everything feeling good. It took me a while to find some lines, but once I did, kind of fell into a nice groove and go from there.
Perfect. Well, congratulations, Grant. I don't know if you were more irritated or Ryan about the lappers there.
I think Ryan handled that very well. He's a professional, very diplomatic, but you know the lappers did hold him up. But Ryan Dungey, like he said, made some mistakes, so he's a little mad at himself a little bit, but he found his groove. He had some good lap times. Here's our TV schedule.
Yeah, well, he'll be back for the second motos tonight on NBCSN at 8 Eastern time for highlights show on Wednesday midweek, and then we're going to Muddy Creek in Tennessee. Live first motos at noon Eastern on MAV TV. We'll make our debut on NBC this year over our second 450 moto next weekend, 2 Eastern. NBC, tune us in. Let's send it back to Georgia.
Kenny Roczen back on the podium. Right, we had injuries beginning of the season. You had that back issue, but you are slowly getting better and better. How are you feeling right now? Do you think you're at 100%, or do you think you've got what it takes to get to the top step?
You know, pain-wise, I'm 100%. I just couldn't do my training for the last 3 weeks really well, and you know, obviously the injury with the back is still there, so I have to lay off a lot of things. But man, I just want to improve from here on. You know, I would want to put in some good work to come back stronger, and I think I'm going to go back now and make some bike adjustments. I think it can handle a little bit better, and overall though, now 3rd place, and we'll see how it goes in the second moto.
Congratulations, well done, Ken.
Oh, this is Ken Roczen. This was the moment where it almost all came unglued, literally. He nearly was off the bike.
Oh! If his front wheel was a foot shorter, that could have been a season-ending injury right there. So Ken Roczen, man, Glad he was able to ride out of that, but you could tell, shook him up a little bit. Dungy got around, the rest was history.
MAV TV presents the Dave Despain Show. You can get an in-depth look at racing legends and heroes. It's all presented by Carlisle Tools, Sunday at 11 Eastern and Pacific on MAV TV, Motorsports Network. Hoping to make Dave proud here. He used to do this job and follows motorcycle racing as a fan, really, and
I'll be on the show
as well.
Pretty soon.
You've been stopping by there quite a bit, I know, hanging out.
It was awesome. Dave Despain, one of my heroes, my dad's hero. It was great to be on the show. It's coming up soon.
That's it for us here on MAV TV. So first motos, no huge changes. You've got Eli Tomac, who has been dominating so far, continues to keep that streak alive. We knew in the 250 class that Jeremy Martin would come in fired up after the bad luck last week. He took that out on the rest of the field. He's right back in the points hunt.
The key is, can these guys get it done second moto? Will Marvin be back? This championship getting tighter, especially the 250s.
Oh, it's going to be good. Tune us in on NBCSN at 8 Eastern. For Georgia Lindsay and Grant Langston, I'm Jason Wygant. Congrats to our winners, Jeremy Martin and Eli Tomac.